Hello YouTube, this is Frank from Architectural Aesthetics. Today in this video I'm doing something rather unconventional in the sense that I am presenting to you the making of my first motion graphics project. The project is commissioned by my dear friend Kenji Chen. He's a freelance photographer based in Toronto, and this guy is just super talented and super dedicated to his craft, and he's my go-to guy whenever I need to document my architectural models or a business headshot. If you also live in the GTA area and you need to document the events in your life, definitely get in touch with him, and I'll be linking his personal website down in the description box. And with that said, the part T, or the design concept for this motion graphics, is actually very simple. The whole idea is to have my friend's branding, Kenji CCZ, all 8 letters being laid out on the screen and have them converge to form a camera. And what you're seeing right now is the first mock-up version I did for him, using Adobe Illustrator, Flash, now being rebranded as Animate CC and After Effects. For this one, I think I had successfully gotten my idea across. However, the animation is rather crude, as the transition from the lettering to the camera seems very forced, whereas in the second build, you can see that the path animation in After Effects allowed me to do a very smooth transition from type to the logo. After showing Kenji the first mock-up, we got together for a meeting, during which we agreed that although the first build has some potential, there is still much room for improvement. One criticism Kenji raised was the form of the camera looked too abstract, and suggested me to consider using the form of Hasselblad 500 cm. I thought this suggestion to be quite sound, as this particular camera model carries with it a feeling of authority, which complements very well to the fact that Kenji himself, though quite skilled in the craft of photography, is still in his early 20s. And now what you're seeing is another sketch I made after our meeting, which includes the refined camera logo and letterings. Based on this drawing, I then moved to my favorite modeling tool, Rhinoceros 5, to vectorize all the line works, which I later exported to Illustrator, then After Effects for 2D animation. The next step for me was to make a 3D model of the Hasselblad camera in Rhinoceros 5. As you can see, the model is not very neat because of the lack of detail, but I figured for a YouTube intro, this level of definition would do. So I went ahead and texturized it using V-Ray for Rhino to give it a more realistic look. And after that was done, I did a very short turntable animation of the camera using Bongo for Rhino, and composited everything in After Effects to get the final intro footage. So that was the making process of my first motion graphic project. I realized there's still some improvements to be made. For example, I can go back to the rendering process and use an alpha channel mask to single out the camera, and consider the compatibility with After Effects. I realized that Cinema 4D is probably a better choice for the 3D process than Rhinoceros. However, the whole point of this project is to explore a new field for me to apply my creative services. And as you can see, a lot of the softwares and skills we deploy on a daily basis as architecture students are transferable to other design practices. Therefore, I highly encourage all of you, my fellow enthusiasts of architecture design, to go out there and render your creative services to more people. Next time when your close ones need a logo for their startup, instead of referring them to an agency, just create a design for them yourself. Alright, so that wraps up the video. Hope it's been informative. Starting from the next one, I'll be showing you guys how I prepare my undergrad architecture portfolio. So I'll see you there. Bye bye.